Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. So tonight we'll be talking about the importance of having a support group, specifically the importance of having a positive support group. If you're here, just indicate by saying hi or giving a thumbs up. So again, we'll be talking about the importance of having a support group, and I will be focusing specifically on the importance of having a positive support group. And this support group is outside of the scope of friends, even though it may or may not include friends. I'm just talking about a group. Hi, Georgina. Thank you. Good to see you. I am talking about the importance of having a group that you can rely on to support you as you pursue your dreams, as you just go through life and deal with life's daily struggles. It doesn't have to be the pursuit of success or the pursuit of your dreams. It could just be helping you to deal with the trials that are inevitable in our lives. So that is what we will be talking about this evening. I will not keep you very long. I know it's Monday, the best day of the week, and we are all getting things in order to ensure that we have a successful week. So I'm not going to keep you for the usual 40 minutes to 1 hour. I'm going to be as brief as possible, I promise. But I really wanted to talk about this. Some of you would have seen my post yesterday about our friends. Some of us have friends who are not really supportive, or even if they are, we don't really know, because they do not tell us and they do not show us that they're supportive. So you're left wondering if you are doing something wrong, if what you're doing is inferior, or if it is a case whereby they do not believe in the dream as much as you do. Georgina says, okay, thank you. Thank you, Georgina, for sharing. Yes, so it is important to have a group that you can rely on to pitch your ideas to and to keep you grounded as you go through life. Now, what is a support group? And like I said at the beginning, I am going to focus on the importance of having a positive support group. A positive support group is one that keeps you motivated and that is in itself motivated as well. A positive support group is also one that is tenacious and dedicated. And a positive support group is one that will remind you to keep going even when things get rough. Hi, Mr. Johnson. Good evening. I believe that a positive support group is one that inspires you, empowers you, and encourages you as you go through life, which reminds you that when things get hard, that they can get better, that they can improve. It's a group that you can rely on, that some people would say on the street, a group that has your back. That's a positive support group. This could be a really close, trusted friend. It could be a family member, or it could be just a group of people that you go to when you want to share ideas and bounce ideas off of each other. Hi, Miss Bennett. Good to see you. Hi, Mr. Bailey. That is what I mean when I say that I believe it is very important for each of us to have a positive support group. And even though many people might not see two persons as a group, it is okay to have that one person who you can rely on when you are going through your trials, or when you have an idea that you're not too sure about and you trust that person to be honest with you. I have this one close friend, and she visited me a while ago. She was here, she left a few days ago. And when I had one of my speaking engagements, she was there. I called on her and she did not hesitate. She left everything that she was doing and she came. She videotaped the event for me and she took pictures. She was just very, very supportive. And that's what I mean. Even if it's just one person, we all need that one person who supports us when we are working on our dreams and working on ourselves. And of course, we're going to do the same thing, because what you get out of life is what you give. I believe that what you receive from life is a direct reflection of your contribution. Renee says, praying for God to guide us to the right people. Amen. Thank you, Renee. That is so important. Because even though it is important to have a support group, you also have to be mindful of how you go about selecting those persons. Because many persons have ulterior motives and they will come pretending to be friends, pretending to be interested in your well-being when they're only there to take advantage of you. So you have to bear that in mind as well. But right now I can tell you that I am a part of at least 2 support groups. Hi, Miss Powell, good to see you. I'm a part of at least 2 support groups, and I can tell you this. One of my groups is virtual. I've never met any of them. I've only met one of the members in person. Everyone else I've met them on a virtual level via social media. And it's a group I can rely on. I am going to do a speaking engagement for myself. It's not about the group. And I send a message to my group to say, hey, I have this engagement to go, and wish me luck, guys. And everybody, the love was just pouring in. They were saying, Shauna, we know you're going to do well. All the very best. We support you. They were giving me thumbs up. They were so supportive. So yes, if you have the right desire in your heart, if you have a desire in your heart and it's deep inside your heart, it is there for a reason. It's there because it's yours to be manifested in your life. And so I believe that God is going to point you in the right direction and to the right people. I'm not worried about that. My contraption just fell, so I'm just going to hold the phone. I'm sorry about that. Yes, I am not worried about that so much, Renee, but it's a very valid point. Sometimes you feel like you need someone and you might end up drawing close to the wrong person. So I really appreciate that point. Why is it important to have a support group? There are 3 reasons that I have highlighted as to why it is important to have a support group. And the first one is that there is strength in numbers. There is strength in partnership, and I'm going to elaborate on that in a little bit. The second one is that having a good, strong support group helps to limit negative influences in your life. And the final one is it helps you to get that validation that you sometimes desire when you're making a leap in your life. So back to the first one about having strength in numbers and strength in partnership. I'd like to draw your attention to St. Luke 5, verse 1 to about 6, in the story of Peter when he was out fishing all night and Jesus came to teach the multitude. And when Peter was there, Jesus saw him and his friends in the water washing their nets. They had toiled all night and they didn't catch any fish. So when Jesus came, he asked Peter to help him to push the boat into the water so he could teach the people from the boat, and that's what he did. And when he was done, he said to Peter, okay, go ahead and throw your net. And Peter said to him, but teacher, we toiled all night and we caught nothing. And you're saying that I should go now and toss this net? What are we going to catch? Well, but then he said, you know what? If you say I should do it, I'm going to do it. So Peter went and he cast the net. And guess what? He caught so many fish that the net was breaking. His partners, the scripture says his partners, Jesse and John, the sons of Zebedee, they came and they helped him. And even when they filled both boats, it was so many fish that the boats began to sink. So they trusted in God and they followed the lead, and the partnership was able to bring them to shore safely. If Peter was by himself, the boat would have surely sunk because he alone couldn't manage all the fish. And so in that story, I believe that the importance of partnership comes out. They were really good friends and they worked together and they were able to come to his rescue at a time when he needed that help, and they all benefited from it. So you see, having a strong support group is very important because that helps you. It helps you to accomplish big goals and it helps you to accomplish small goals. It helps you in your time of need, and that's why it is important to have a strong support group. The second reason is that it helps to limit negative influences in your life. Sometimes you have people who call themselves your friends. They say that they're there for you and they will call on you from time to time. They will even say, hi Shauna, how you doing, from time to time. But then you find that when you start moving forward and you start accomplishing some goals, sometimes these people are nowhere to be found. Or sometimes they just remain so quiet. You begin to wonder if they're still alive. You reach out to them and they're just always busy. And maybe they're busy. People do get busy. People do have their own lives to live, so I understand that. But sometimes you really have to wonder, where are they when you need them? They say that they're your friends. So sometimes it is important for you to look outside of that small circle of people that you call your friends and find a group that has similar goals as you do, people with similar mindsets that they can help you as you pursue your dreams. And outside of the scope of pursuing dreams or pursuing success, you need a strong support group so that when the trials of life come upon you, when you're faced with hard times, there are these persons that you can call on to say, I'm not feeling so well. Can you pray for me? Or can you go and sit with me? Can you go to the park with me? Can you just come with me to go see this movie even though you have seen it already? And they will not hesitate. That's what I mean. So having a support group is not only en route to success or in the pursuit of your dreams or to develop a vision, but just someone to be there for you during your time of despair, during your down moments. It's very important. The final reason why it is important to have a strong support group is that it provides you with much needed validation. Sometimes you have a great idea that you want to pitch to your group at work or to your boss, or just something you want to develop. You want to start a business, but you're not too sure. You're new to this thing and you're not too sure. So you want to have that group that you can go to and say, hey guys, look, I have this idea. I think it's a great idea, but what do you think? And sometimes you find that they can give you such insight that after you've done talking to them, you might find that the idea is developed even more beyond the realm that you would have never imagined on your own. Or you find that idea wasn't as great as you thought and they could give you even better alternatives. But the point is that no man is an island. No man stands alone. You need people to be there to support you. People to be there to guide you when you're falling off track. And people to be there to remind you that even though things are difficult now, that they can get better and that you can come to them for support. And of course, you're going to reciprocate. Because like I said, whatever you give is what you will receive. Whatever you receive in your life is a direct reflection of your contribution. So if you're thinking about trying to get from people, trying to be a taker, always want to take and not give, that's what is going to happen to you. People are going to come to you who only want to take. And so you're going to become frustrated because you attract in your life what you're thinking at a subconscious level and what you believe at a subconscious level. So if you want to attract people in your life who will be supportive of you and people who will believe in your dream, and people who will be there by your side in the down moments as well as when you're thriving, you have to think positive. You have to think success. And you have to think about helping others. In seeking to grow, you have to think about what contribution am I making to society? What will be my legacy when I leave? What am I contributing? When you focus on that, you will find that things will come to you without even you working specifically for those things. That is not to say that you shouldn't have goals, but the point I'm making is that when you have a support group, it's not just for you, but it's for the entire group. You strengthen each other. You all have to be strong in the group because we know that a chain is as strong as its weakest link. So you all have to be strong in that group. But I can tell you that based on my personal experience, I have garnered much strength from my support groups. Even when I have an idea and I'm not too sure about it, I just go to my group and I say, hey guys, what do you think about this idea? And they start just giving you suggestions freely, authentically. They just start giving you suggestions and ideas. And sometimes it just helps you to see even a wider scope than you had first started out. When you stay by yourself, all you have to work with is your idea, your opinion. You have nothing to match it against. But when you have a group that is motivated and inspired, they will inspire you as well. So I just wanted to come and share that, because of some experiences I've been having lately with people coming and saying that they don't feel motivated because, you know, they are part of these clubs or these groups and they seem to be the only ones who are driven. And so they're getting frustrated and they want to give up. And I always tell them, listen, if you're part of a group that makes you feel as though you're not strong enough, that you're inferior, that your ideas are not good enough, maybe it's time to change group. Maybe that's not the group for you anymore. You have outgrown that group. Some people, they come into your life for a reason, some for a season. And not because it is a thing that you know means you have to hold on to it. Sometimes it's just over. It has ended. The time for that group has passed. They have served their purpose and it's time to move on. You graduated to another group that will fit now the blueprint that you now have. So guys, don't be afraid to move on and to find new groups of motivated individuals who will inspire you and who you can in turn inspire and uplift. It is very important to have a very strong, positive support group as you pursue your dreams in life and as you go through life and deal with the challenges that life throws at you. You will need someone to lean on, someone to remind you to keep going, to remind you that at the end of the rainbow, there's a pot of gold. to remind you that life is going to have inevitable trenches. Life is going to have inevitable difficulties. But at the end of it, you will be stronger. You would have built character. You would have built courage. So yes, you might not win. You might have a specific goal or a specific ideal in mind. And at the end of the journey, you might not have acquired that specific thing. But you will realize that the process changes you. The process changes who you are. It makes you stronger and it gives you more understanding. It means that when you're faced with a similar situation in the future, you have a better idea. You're more informed as to how to deal with it. Not only that, you can now advise someone to avoid the pitfalls, having had the experience yourself. So yes, the fact that you didn't get the goal that the specific goal that you were working on, it doesn't mean that you lost. I believe in my life that I never lose. Either I win or I learn. That's a well-known saying and I really like it. I never lose. Either I win or I learn. So even if you don't get the specific outcome that you wanted, you learn something from it that you can apply to your life and it builds your character. So guys, remember, try to align yourself with some people. It doesn't have to be a big group, but some people who will support you, some people who will be there for you, some people who will remind you that they believe in you and that they want to see you succeed as much as you want to see them succeed and as much as you want to succeed. Okay, guys, so again, follow me on Twitter at sk_brown, or you can log into my website. You can follow me on my website at www.shauna-kaye.brown.com. As you know, I post every single day. I'm all about uplifting all my friends. I am not going to sit here on social media, specifically on Facebook, with almost 2,000 friends and not even say something that could possibly encourage someone. The idea of friendship means it's somebody you can turn to, someone you can look to for even one word of upliftment. That's the idea of friendship. Not just to sit there and watch what you're doing and remain silent. That's not friendship. Friends communicate. Partners communicate. Support, people who are in your support group, they communicate. That's what it's about. And that's why I'm here. So guys, I'm always happy to share my insights with you, and I really appreciate you taking a few minutes from your evening to come and listen to me. And of course, you will be hearing more from me as soon as the insights come to me, as soon as I have the experiences and I know people can relate to them. I'll share them with you because that's why I'm here. I have now. I don't know about tomorrow. Yesterday has already passed. I can't change that, but I have now, and I'm going to make the most of it. Every day, I should live a life that makes me feel full. When I wake up in the morning and I set out on my journey, I make a conscious decision to be happy. I say to myself, I am going to be happy today. Because you know what? When you wake up in the morning, you have two choices. You can choose to be happy or you can choose to be unhappy. And I know, yes, it sounds simple. Ostensibly, it sounds simple, but it's not. And I've said it so many times, but I'll keep saying it because I believe it. If you choose to allow the trials of life to get you down, you will not be able to cope because you don't know what you're going to meet when you step outside that door or outside that gate. So you have to make a conscious decision to be happy, a conscious decision to be nice and to be kind to every person you meet, a conscious decision to be neighborly. Over the weekend, I spoke at a session. I did it. It was in my intention. I was just going to go there and speak to these young people about the importance of having a positive mindset. And at the appointed time, I realized that they had a theme on their flyer. It says, love thy neighbor. And my mind went back to the story in St. Matthew 19, verse 26, where the gentleman asked Jesus, what is the greatest commandment? And he said that the greatest commandment is to love the Lord with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. And then Jesus went on to say that these are the two most important commandments. But guys, what I took from that is this. If you don't know how to love yourself, you cannot love your neighbor. And if you love yourself, you're going to surround yourself with the type of people who can uplift you, who can enrich you, who can edify you. That shows that you love yourself and you're trying to build yourself. You're trying to make yourself better. You're constantly trying to grow and to improve. And that's why you make a conscious effort to surround yourself with the kind of people who are going to help you to do that. And I believe in law, we learned in a 1932 case called Donahue and Stevenson, we learned Lord Atkin, who presided over the case, he tells you who is your neighbor. When he was asked that question, who is your neighbor, in trying to outline the parameters for the law of negligence, he said that your neighbor is anyone who, within your reasonable contemplation, is likely to be affected by your actions or your omissions. So your neighbor is not necessarily the person who lives in close proximity to you. That's your neighbor as well. But your neighbor is anybody who could possibly be affected by something that you do. It means that the gentleman you sit beside on the bus or on the train, that's your neighbor, even if it's for a moment. It means that the people who you have to interact with at work, those are your neighbors. It means that the people who live in your household, within your household, those are your neighbors. Anybody who could be affected by your action or inaction, those are your neighbors. And you should love them the way you love yourself. In a conscious, able-minded person, you are not going to inflict pain on yourself. So why would you do that to someone else? And so sometimes when life gets really down, when you are in despair, you could reach to the point where you start to think of inflicting pain on yourself and by extension on others. That is why you need a strong support group. Because that's what the group is going to help you to remember. It's going to help you to remember that we all have trials in life, but that there is someone here, someone who cares about you, someone who cares about your well-being. And guys, I know I haven't met some of you as yet, and one day we will meet in some way, shape, or form. But as it is now, this is what I have to share. And if there is anything within what I have said that resonates with you, then use it and apply it to your life, because that's my purpose. And if you can be improved, if you can be encouraged by something that I do or something that I say, I would have fulfilled my purpose. I live every day now feeling full, feeling happy, because I'm doing what I was meant to do. I'm empowering people the way how I would have wanted to be empowered when I was younger. I have no regrets, because those things have taught me resilience, tenacity, strength, and I'm happy for that, because it makes me tough and it makes me go even harder for the things that I want, and it makes me fight even more for the weak among us. So guys, thank you so much for joining. I will check your comments and your suggestions and I will respond. I was not able to see them because my contraption broke as I was talking to you. But thank you all for joining me, and I look forward to coming and speaking to you every single day. Until next time, have a great night. Thank you, guys.